Hello and welcome back. I'm going to do another episode about shallograms. I spent maybe an hour today looking around at shallograms and I found some interesting ones. This one I think I already talked about, but we're going to start off with it in case I didn't. What I found most exciting about this is it is very much like another one that I really like a lot. I mean, they're all cool. This one. Or maybe I should do it like that. This, I believe, is... I don't know if I realized some of them are not from this shop. This one's from RootrockGuru.com. So, like, most of the shallograms I take screenshots of are from there, but they're not all, like, if there's a hand in it. It's a white background. I'm pretty sure almost entirely. There's some instances not, but like I don't think anything with leaves in it. I'm not sure how many people do leaves. I know I found one that with leaves. It looks like I don't have this source. Sorry, guys. Maybe we can find it real quick. Let's check Etsy. Shallogram. Maybe also just recently viewed. If I went back past this, sorry. Wait, it was right there, man. Nope. Sorry about that. Maybe Tatva, something like that. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. What? That's a cool one there. I'm not sure if I took pictures of it, but we can see through it there. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's get back to shallograms. So we got those. Pretty cool. Okay, so then this one from different angles are these angles. There. And there. Maybe of note is these shapes that are kind of triangular. And then kind of elongated, maybe like the shark teeth kind of things. I don't know, just a thought. Okay. So with that, without further ado, let's get into some shallograms that I haven't talked about that I just took pictures of that I am excited to talk about. So we'll start here. Okay. This one was really exciting. It stops pretty counter, like to this over here. Maybe even kind of with this material extending opposite. Which is interesting. How it tends to do that. It's way too frequent for just like happenstance. And if there's a fossil explanation for like why it does it, I'm not sure if maybe, but my guess is at most it's pointed out and just because we've accepted that they're fossils, it's not like that closely inspected. Just like, wow, fossilization can do blah 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 blah. It's probably attempted to be explained more scientifically. I would like to know what the full spectrum of explanation for certain things like that, where there tend to be like opposite, like the point out there, the furthest point there is definitely opposite that one. It's not as clear on this side where the rock is missing. Over here, the rock extended, so it actually shows more precise how it was. This is missing a chunk too that's not missing here. Looks like it broke along a dendrite shape, which suggests like this region, maybe this region tends to experience dendritic effects that physically break the shell into pieces, and then the pieces break away, like where what's remaining is just the dendritic boundary there. I don't know, just a thought. There's so many cool things about this. That's definitely zoom in and just take note maybe of the features that we'll see from different angles that will maybe add some interesting things of interest. This crack here, or not crack, this like mound that's over here, an indentation that's very crack-like, but mound here that's very pointed, I guess. And then this bulk region that has its divide, and then has like a mouth here that opens, and then a chin type of region, like a snake head, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting at. It physically has that type of feature, maybe not a snake head, just a head, like maybe a dinosaur head. It doesn't really matter. It's just maybe an eyeball there. A head, it makes me think of Antang Java Plateau. Which has that mouth type of thing going on. Even an eyeball region. The eyeball region maybe has like a swirl of this blue here. I don't know. So that makes me think of this region, but so like the mound here, the anti-mound here, where the material's missing. So when this broke apart, it didn't just randomly broke. It broke at actual weak points, and the weak points were not just like straight across along a layer. They were along the structures themselves that are in the rock that don't just end at the fossil but extend outward into the rock as a structure like this. That my guess is it literally like pushes up like a mound in a way that causes an opening to form and basically gives space for the structure to occur, something of that nature. The structure here, I guess, spiraling outward this way as a spiral of energy goes in, like under the layer. So let's go forward. Notice there's like an under layer within the shell of this fossil that basically was a container that a current flowed through, and as it flowed through, it filled, like created a boundary of the shell of the current that had an opening space like in there. So maybe that's like that one. So there's an opening space in there. That's a different one, actually. So there's more, like, it's it just happens because that's how it is. Pardon me, pardon me. Seriously, pardon me. Oh, Lord. Okay. Then there's this thing. This little wedge with arcs to it. I'm not sure what to make of it exactly. I'm just noting it's at the boundary. Almost like whatever was flowing around. Maybe whatever was flowing into and down to like the chakra point. Once this dendritic structure broke apart, it basically spiraled in and then across this way, which then influenced this segment by basically gouging out a path maybe across and out that way. That then just it didn't do it so much so as to like open the rock. It just did it enough where when the rock was broken, or how when it broke in a way where the it just separated and showed that structure that had like basically a shell form, like a rind layer that sort of was differentiated enough to change the boundary, or maybe it physically changed the boundary, like moved the boundary, like pushed down or up on a layer in a way that it physically changed the boundary and shaped by the current. I'm not sure why exactly it would do that. Go across, run into resistance and separate maybe, and then just take that shape maybe. I don't know. Here we can see that shape pretty well. Okay, let's go through. Okay, I think that's again that shape with like a mouth with, notably, with a like particle of this differentiated material, like the gold colored material that's not gold. Like it's holding on to it like the hand of God does. Right. Maybe like a current is flowing into this material and it forms as like a blob that then the current has to go around the blob, and it does so in a way where most of the current goes one way, but then a dominant and a recessive current, that the recessive current is more subtle, that goes the other way, but they wrap around the thing that the current is moving and create this type of structure just like systematically. where like that's playing into it. That's systematically low. Not like it existed, it's that the currents were flowing and induced the differentiation of materials, induced systems that behaved in that manner in the currents, and then created shallograms. And there were no living creatures. Here's another one with that like head structure here in an interesting way with that underbelly. Different angle. We see the dendrite things, especially like at this boundary where it broke. Not here where it's nice and solid, but as it approaches the break point, we see the dendrites just showing up because that's carving. Like basically the resistance is increasing so much that it begins to carve like cross current interactions that have to like weave across in order to fit the pressures that are present, and in so doing like carve into the layer in the shape like a river flowing because it had such intense pressures. And just in this instance, we still see remnants of these regions. Just cool. There's something going on there. Can kind of see it there. It looks like it jumps. Some kind of like cut in. Interesting. Like right where the overlayer is missing. Like the current that is inducing this just starts to cut the boundary that it then is flowing down into the shallogram through. Over here, maybe the currents are being like curved in ways that don't etch the same, but over here they're like flowing, maybe even related to here, like this way and down. I like that idea. Very, very clean shapes. Like, I would say non-random, like somewhat regular shapes. It's interesting it has this here with respect to this. Maybe this is like before the particle forms that it wraps around, so it more is like a single system, maybe. I don't know. More laminar, more uniform. Maybe not laminar, uniform. Different one. Oh yeah, I was trying to think why I especially found this one interesting. I don't know what to like. There's not quite the mounds. There is a mound here maybe, but it's certainly not, or here. But it's pretty balanced. Like maybe there's a little bit more here and maybe there. Maybe we can see different angles. But what I found interesting was these lines that are the fossil has that go around it. When we reach the end here, the fossil's lines just start to curve over, which makes sense for something that is current induced, like at the boundary having this like cross current at the boundary that induces a bend in the direction of the currents, it doesn't really make sense for fossils. Like, it needs the fossil to have broken and bent, like, to induce the degree of. Sorry. I'm like, I realize my microphone might be really loud, and depending on sources of listening, like my computer and my phone and things are fine. I tried to listen to something on my parents' Apple TV, and it was on YouTube. It was not good. The KT Boundary one, I was like, my audio kind of sucks. I didn't realize it was like, I thought it was decent enough where I just wasn't paying attention anymore. Anyway, so let's see. Oh, let's go back a little. Pardon me, guys. I did that whole spiel and then I forgot. This is from Tatva Jewelry. This one on Etsy. So this is an Etsy shop where this epic shallogram is, which also has a blob there. So we see the same thing happening in this one. I don't know if I noticed it there. Also, maybe it's worth noting, like, at the neck, if you will, of this head, there is another blob that's, like, coming, has a relationship to the, I want to, like, shaping out this way, like, as a current flows in the tube of the ammonite shape that is induced by an eddy current swirling into a focal point. It then induces a growth from that point of a material like this that then spirals out from that point around the boundary of that current and creates a shape that then as it grows, it like does so by this like hand of God, and then the wrist region that creates this like thing over and over, this structure. Okay, so that's Tatva Jewelry again, same one. This one though is Ultimate Crystal Shop on Etsy also. So that's where this one's from. I forgot to mention that, and if I do forget to mention somewhere in them, it's this one, or else if it looks like surrounding ones, or not this one, it's up here. The name is up there, pardon me. I know that's terrible. Okay, Ultimate Crystal Shop on Etsy for all these. Same for this one with the cool bending ones. Also, here's something else of note. This like mound on this side. Maybe a mound over here. I don't. It's not really the same position. Maybe let's check it out though. There's maybe a mound. Maybe we could call that like, I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah, this one maybe. It's like a foot. Okay, this one looks like some kind of weird dinosaur. I don't know, with an like elongated head. Maybe alien. Okay, okay. Let's go. Let's find the next one. So that's still Ultimate Crystal Shop, those ones. Different angles. I just kind of took pictures at this point. This is this one, which has this feature on it. I'm not sure exactly where. It would be interesting where it is relative to this. But I can't quite tell. It's interesting it has that. I wonder if it's related to the chakra. Like on one side, I don't know where the chakra is. I don't even know where the break is. It might be actually there. I don't know. I can see it there. Okay, this one's cool. It's got a very distinct shape here. This one is not quite as clear. I didn't notice this. There's a line here, notably. Another one here that extends out this way. It looks like maybe it goes back this way and also this way. I don't know. And maybe goes across that way too. And then this shape is very much like it made me think of an arrowhead as I punch myself. Like, and then within there, underneath, kind of reminiscent of the really cool one that this one. Kind of reminiscent of how this one's shaped. So maybe let's bring that up just to compare as we go. Oh wait, let's see. This is from Mangalam Jewelry on Etsy also. Okay. Similar, certainly not as like hexagonal and just as many features, I guess. But incredible. It's got. This one's just out of this world. This one's hard to even compare to. And it's just sheer. What is that? Okay, this same one. So this one, interesting, has this spiral and like. Oh my, so it's like the current's coming in and then it's reaching the chakra and going up the chakra and being like shot out, forming the boundary from this point, like literally a current flowing in into the point, and then it basically takes material and swirls it out and creates a boundary for more current to go into the point until the system destabilizes by breaking a hole in the rock, just spewing material from the two chakra points that then meet, I guess, at the center and then just fold in ways that are really interesting, and also like create fingers that dendritically connect to the rock here, like tapping into the terminal. Maybe it's like an electron shell or something. Yeah, the ammonite is maybe, and like I don't know. because it's essentially fractal something. It's just what exactly types of features it represents in different fractals of that nature. Another angle. It's really, it looks like a tire. Looks like it's rotating against a surface. And then that's creating like a pressure that physically pushes as it rotates, but otherwise it would be more across. Because it's not always so sharply angled. I mean, this is even sharply angled. Maybe there's a relationship, I don't know. It would make sense. Another one with like that little head type thing at the end of the positive to the negative, if you will. Where the positive is like the shell and the negative is the imprint. The same one. Sorry, oh yeah, this is from Rohan Gems. It took me to be like, even when I was saving them, it took me more than the first one. Did I miss no, okay. Okay. Same one, very cool. This one's real cool. This one's from Rudraksh Guru. That's I assume. Let me go ahead. Oh yeah. Okay, I even put it on that one. I think I was like, well, maybe I should label them just in case. This is interesting. It's pretty straight across here, but then this way it's not. Like a shell would be. Just makes sense since it's missing the portion of the shell. Although it's very, like, well made within it. Very odd. And then it even has, like, features of the shell indented in. Like, there's no shell here. Right? Like, the shell goes up and across, and then it connects in up here. This would be like physically below I don't know, maybe. My guess is there's like, especially down here, it's going too far down to make any sense from a fossil standpoint. Like, if the fossil shouldn't induce this outcome, I would suggest. But a current can do that, especially if this chunk moves away, breaks away, gets blown away. Triangular chunk, interesting. And then it even has a current across this way, presumably, which extends past this, almost like a positive negative. Where like the bulk is in the positive, but the subtle particles are like flowing ahead, carving a path for the bulk to move through, which then behaves in some ways a positive negative, at least in appearance and probably behavior too, with like actual exchange where like it backflows at some point maybe. But also with another one here that it runs into and then seemingly goes that way. Kind of like triangular as well, with like a point here, point maybe here, but definitely at least there. So many cool things going on here. It's kind of interesting. Also, that it's so smooth here in terms of the dendrites are here, but this missing chunk is here where the dendrites seem to be like disappearing. So there's almost like a transition zone between like a in the same way where the current is subtle, but it's like carving paths, maybe. And over here, maybe it's more dense, or I'm trying to think. Just like more dense because it's just like the atoms, where over here it's, or maybe it's probably still atoms at some point, but like something's driving it that's more subtle, that's really occupying space and spreading the rock apart. My guess is like a steam. I know that's still atoms, but steam is actually heated atoms, and heat is subtle particles. uh, Not to say that that's what's happening. Just a thought that occurred to me. This is very interesting. I could stare at this all day. This one, just the way these are just very complete, well mixed, homogeneous, distinct boundaries. And then over here, it's kind of chaotic. Certainly has places of like very distinct boundaries as well, but it doesn't quite have this going on. This looks very clean. This looks like a chaotic mess. Like, oh lord. This is the side of it. One of the sides. Pretty cool from this angle. I didn't really expect this to look like that. So I guess here is this. So what we're seeing is the top here is up here. I think that seems right. That seems right. I don't know what else it could be. This looks like the way this is shaped. So it's got some kind of coloration around that. That's hard to see there. Little particulate type thing. It's almost like the teeth down here create waves that interact. As it opens in some way. Different angle. It's so cool. You can see the dendrites in there. Oh my, this one's incredible. Very interesting in there too. I haven't really thought much about this region, and it's got this little wafer or something. These look kind of odd relative to everything. This area just looks very odd. I don't know what to make of it because it's just kind of irregular looking. But it just could be because of certain, I don't know. Like the light, like we can kind of see there. It looks more normal, like it's just spiraling in, la la la, and it's just hidden. This one looks kind of like, what is happening here? There's that coloration nice and clean there with the indentation pore carved out there. It looks like it's starting to happen. It was starting to happen there. Maybe this is extending in, like these fingers are pushing the boundary out as much as they can as the current flows. Something. Same rock, another angle, very cool there. There's that thing going on. Stuff coming out underneath the layer there. As far as it zoom by, there it is, coming out underneath the layer there. Just interesting shapes over here. Where are we looking at there? So there's that. I think that's that. It's the opposite side. So this. Like what? Little seashell there. Seashell. What is real anymore? Why? Okay. So this side, where this missing piece is. I was just trying to find what that looked like. Okay, so we got that missing piece. I guess over here. It's like bursting at the seams here, almost as if, and this color is very reminiscent of this here, almost like it was going in and through and out over here. And influencing this. Like it looks much more, it's like la 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 la, ah. Oh, I gotta hurry. This one's real cool looking. It just made me think of aliens. Not like aliens, but like it just made me think of aliens. I can say it made me think of aliens without being like aliens did it. Like they're okay. The curves here, we can see the like sanding of the surface that occurred as it was being shaped by the current flows down past, and then looks like it's going that way, and then it divides. Maybe we'll see if we got a better picture that I took. Also, this is from Rudraksh Guru as well. Oh, I didn't notice these little ridges. This one looks like it divides, goes up and divides over this way. Another angle, a little surprising that this is this. It's a little surprising. I guess it's the bottom side, this side, just based on the way it is. It has a fracture here. You can see the curves again of the sanding that occurred as the currents flowed atop this, dividing around this like peak, literally. Whoa. It's got a bunch of little circles all over it in the picture. That's, I think that's just a picture, but whoa. Well, I guess this side is just, who knows. We can kind of see it, but more so we can see maybe here. This is blurry. We can make out there's probably some kind of like white coloration that can happen in shallograms there, although that might be entirely from the flash or something. And in the picture, I don't know, around those boundaries. Let's move on from this side. This one's incredible. It's already cool. It's got this stripe, also with the little mouth there. Big old tops region here, which notably this chakra shallogram ammonite section has a small lobe and a large lobe. The large lobe seemingly like went exponential over here, maybe like literally exponential, and just flowed maybe, or vice versa. It was flowing in this way. Maybe it was flowing in this way. I don't know why it would be all like that. Doing that exactly. Let's just look around some more. We'll get back to that feature. This straight line there, at least that much, maybe. Oh, real cool. You guys see that? Whoa, straight line. That kind of has like two segments. And then when it crosses whatever's going on here, that looks like a bunch of little ridges, it becomes like these shapes. Whoa. I guess there. Like a projectile hitting something. Something. Little subtle shallogram curves there. Like these. Subtle though, because it was the process just made it subtly. Another angle there. Whatever's going on there is real interesting. This is incredible. This makes me think, it just made me think of like quantum mechanics kind of like lines of thought and potentials in this. Like, why is it? It seems like something's off of this side. That's big and like some other material. And then over here, there's this other thing that's like this way. And then suddenly, whatever's going on here. And then this face that's just like, ah, and it's got its own little shallogram mouth. I didn't notice that. Oh, there's so much cool stuff. There's the top. Did you expect that? You could see like here. I did that purposely. That's why I was. That's why I'm like, did you expect that? Because I did that purposely. I hid the top. We thought it was kind of there, maybe a little further, but it really goes through the rock. I've never seen one like this. This looks like a, I don't know, like a tiger, something, some kind of spotted animal, cheetah, huge spot. It's just a dog with like an eye patch, like spot, spotty. It looks like Spotty. Hey, Spotty. Okay. Mouth, eyeball. Whoa. Some kind of energy thing that's going on in living beings that's just like exponential. Interesting. It looks almost like a dendrite structure across. Reminds me of the image I saw the other day of the cranium, like the. Wait, these things. Like, what? I was like, wait. Oh, yeah. Like, it's literally an energy flow that's swirling and inducing similar things to shallograms to even create dendritic structures on the skull. That's kind of what makes me think of that. Crazy. You are crazy. Well, alright, fine. It's hard to say if it's truly dendritic. It might be more. It might be like this, like a shallogram teeth opening thing, and maybe that's like some. There's some relationship between the two that I'm not sure of to just talk about in the moment, at the moment of thought. Also, these cross currents from this thing to this thing. Almost like it was creating a chunk here. Again, like the image of the skull, kind of. And reminding me of quantum mechanics again, just by the shape with, like, the Feynman diagram shape. A little off. Maybe not perfect, but reminiscent. Again, we got the, like, top with just currents flowing generally around it. Then, like, the greatest thickness point, maybe. This one etched out, like, boop. Doesn't really make sense. I think I might have pictures of this, but I took pictures anyway. It might just be very similar. This looks very similar one I took pictures of, so I might have already talked about this one. I didn't actually look. I was like, no, I don't think these other pictures. It actually even has it there. in there looking, although it's more just in the shadows, which is interesting. This kind of suggests maybe it's real too, to a degree. I don't know. But it's got like a etching across there. What kind of like that is going on? That's interesting. As well as over here. Kind of coming to a point with lots of abnormalities compared to most shalograms I've seen. That looks kind of like different pokes of a shallogram, like this segment in a more regularly shaped one. Okay. I really should go to bed. This goes across here. Connects. Space across. Let's get to some cool ones, at least. Not that this isn't cool, but I know there's some I'd really like to talk about. Before I just stop. This goes this way. Okay. Some stuff going on. This looks like there's currents that way. Maybe even interacting like there. I don't know if this structure would be. It looks like it actually goes right across it. Which kind of makes sense that those would still be flowing when these structures were forming. Maybe if they weren't when these structures were forming, they would break apart more easily. Whatever was creating this like pressure of this current flow around it. There's that a gap. This one's incredible. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. We can see dendrites in there that just kind of literally, we just go out into here, go over here, separate over here. Down here, this thing going on. It kind of stops here. Interestingly, this one does almost the opposite. Like, instead of just stopping, like, it really does whatever's going on here. Like a positive, negative, or vice versa. 1, 2, 3. Makes me think of shallogram, like shallow, medium, deep structures that I feel like happen somewhat regularly. Like, I think the Caspian Sea is like that. I think that's the right one. This one. Yeah, okay. I think it goes shallow, deeper, and deepest. Or vice. I'm pretty sure it goes that way. So maybe Caspian Sea has a similarity to like this kind of thing. Which is a component of a shallogram structure in more general sense. Another side of the rock. This is also Rudraksh Guru. This was also Rudraksh Guru. That was 2. Another angle. It's got. I don't know if I even see it. It must be right here. It must be right there. Here's this going up this way. So right under this thing going on is a chakra shallogram. 2 chakras with a sphere in the center of them. Okay, just before we go look at it right here. So it looks like maybe actually this region, at least some of it is this portion outside of there. So many things going on here that are cool, that are just like little chambers where the current flows, fills a chamber, and then it flows some more. I don't know why exactly, almost like a lake or pond, ocean, some places, I don't know. This one's real interesting. Very thin looking right there, very thin there, like wafer thin or something. Real thin, yeah, actually. And then a mound type thing, maybe. It's hard to tell because it's broken in half. It's interesting that it's broken in half. It's not broken like over here, it's broken down the middle. Because that seems to be how it goes. This is the other side. Like, what? Okay, this is from Good Luck Guru on, I want to say on eBay. I think we're on eBay now. Yeah, this is from eBay. So this is one side. That's another side. What in the... I don't know what to make of this rock. It doesn't even seem like the same one, but I mean, it's possible. It's got all sorts of things going on, like imprint type structures there. This thing's incredible. Whatever this one is, if this is that, it's even more incredible. I think that's all the pictures. Like where? Oh, this side is, it's like got a big side that's this side. And then the top from this angle is this side. And then the opposite side below is here. I guess so, like, this must be really thick. And it just goes down to a sharp point that's so hard. I guess here. I guess that's just a real sharp point there. Another just regular shapes that currents are inducing in important ways. It looks kind of like an engine. This one's crazy. From Om Puja Shop. And any of them that are from the shop have their name on it here, which is cool. And I took a picture of the whole of it here because it's just very abnormal. It's got this straight edge, very sharp point. This abnormality here. Straight edge, weird thing. Like, it's not regular, first of all, which is cool. It looks almost like lopsided from this angle, like at the chakra itself. Like, it's not even up, it's like sideways, which I've never seen before. It's quite incredible that it literally looks like it's like folded sideways. How, this thing is like when I see one that just disproves science. Like, it doesn't even. Oh my god. not science, but our current interpretation of the ammonites and how they formed, and a lot of things. Basically, our current sciences. This one right here, like we can at this angle we can see like coming around this bend here, and then it comes to this sharp point, down, over, down, but also over, down. Like a current that's flowing and like etching in at certain points that it catches, and maybe even catching in here, like etching in here, but then etching in a little more here and over here, creating like the start of the hand around like a nodule here. I don't know if this is the right position exactly, depending on when it happened. I mean, this thing's so irregular. Like, what? It's got a ramp here. I want this one. Any of them that just truly disprove interpretations. What is going on here? Wide. Whoa, this is just abnormalities galore in ways that are so unique. I've not seen this here. This here. That even looks like a wave. Like it looks like it's like this. Hello, I just kind of shaped like this for no reason. I'm an ammonite. I'm a fossil. What? Oh my god, this thing right here. Unassuming. I mean, it suggests something might be up. There's a node there, this here. Something going on up there. This one's interesting. You can kind of see it here. These colors. The gold colors like going through there only. Like, but crossing over again, crossing over between short circuiting between loops. That's probably a good way to put it. Short circuiting between loops. It's got this piece that broke off the back here. On top the back. It's kind of, if you picture it kind of like mud, it looks kind of like muddy. This gold material. In terms of like a drain and just energy bringing, a current bringing, like a something that behaves money. I know I sound ridiculous to people who don't like me talking. Next, Birdman, Pooj, Om Puja shop again. I saw this, I was like, why is there a bald eagle? Oh, that's interesting. Riding a bald eagle with a serpent in hand. Like a cobra. Maybe cobra is relevant. Like amongst the snakes. But anyway, incredible. Dude, what? Eyeball mouth. Like, it kind of looks like a goat, maybe, or something. But regardless, it's incredible. The way the differentiation of materials has occurred, the presence of whatever's going on here. Like this looks like it's like the way it bends here. It looks like it's physically doing the same thing that happens like here. Like right here in this little spot here. The same thing as what's going on right here. Distinguishable here, and I can't zoom in and see that. But it's happening physically right atop this. Incredible. I mean, I don't know for certain. It sure looks like it. I don't think it's certainly not flowing with this. Like, these are flowing this way. So this is not part of this structure. It's some other system is inducing this other than this system that's interacting with it. Yay. 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 Sorry, I just like rocks, what can I say? I love Shadowgram. Another angle. Okay. 107. Okay, cool. Another angle. Cool. Let's see the back. Unassuming again. A big old blob here. Little blob there. Interesting. Stuff going on there. Let's kind of go through here. Mostly I took a picture of that because of the blobs. The big old blob, little blob. Different angle of the blobs. I guess that's the ammonite shape here. Connecting there, I guess. Yeah, it totally looks like that in that other picture. I've never seen them that big, but maybe they just tend to break down. The bird one. This one's cool. It's got like a different color in here, different color here, different color here. Usually it doesn't have a third color. That's cool. Another blob off the side. It seems to extend a bit. Over here, maybe not so much. This one just has an abrupt end too. This just kind of flows in. Although the ammonite itself seems to be a little odd shape there. This one's real interesting. Another blob. Notably, the blob is opposite this side. That's got this flat side that has these two shoulders around the neck, maybe. But then there's this going on. Well, we'll get more go through some more pictures. Let's go back. Let's go back through some pictures. So this is again Om Puja, but then this is from India 2014 on Etsy with some underscores. Sorry, some of the names are not as easy to save like this. But their shops is very distinguishable on Etsy or on eBay. This is from eBay. Might be on Etsy also. Big blob. Okay. Yeah. Okay, back to here. Also, same. Pretty much, probably most of them, I think, going forward are from this shop. India 2014. Okay. Blob. Notably. Let's go to the next one. Okay. I guess I didn't realize how blurry this was. I try not to get blurry pictures. But anyway, this spiral here, notably at this boundary, continues out here, but then it like goes out. And maybe even from here goes across this way to here. Like it's rolling as it creates a structure. In terms of something that I'm not, that's only like really noticeable in cases like this. I don't know. But like, it's as if there's like an underlayer that should continue here though, like right here should continue. Maybe it basically goes there. But something's going on here with this stone. That's very odd. Another angle. It's snapped. Just snapped. Although, no. When did it snap? I don't know. So cool. Whoa. Another angle of it. And this one made me think of a sea turtle. So this one here looks like a sea turtle on this side. And then it has this really cool thing going on here that definitely points to something. Like this line, this basically goes around also, like there's a spine that generally goes around through the middle in a way. At times, I'm not saying inherently or here unequivocally, but my thought is like there's almost like a places that it can break, and instead of breaking the whole, it only broke the half off in an interesting way. Maybe because of materials. I don't know. But then it looks like a sea turtle, and then its other side it looks like kind of like a cat nose, like a panther ear. It's even got like features there, like within an ear. So the same stone has all that going on. That's incredible. These cross lines right under the eye, above the eye, some other feature. This is from the same shop. I'm trying to think why. I think some of them I just took pictures of because they were so similar. I didn't want to just like not take the picture because it doesn't have the features like the other ones. That would be like misleading. Oh, very smooth here. Ring type structure. Kind of see it there. I think this is the same one. Yeah, this is this one. I guess it's here. I can't see it on that one. Much more visible there. Suggestive of like there was a chakra. Where are we looking at here? We're like a ammonite type structure forming here that broke generally. Didn't form, but it like started to form kind of like the UFO looking chamber that kind of has that feature. And then the opposite positive to its negative. Here's this cool I don't know. Cross current definitely made me think of cross current. This one's quite interesting also, the way this is maybe reminiscent of the other ones we were looking at, just more actually atop the ammonite shell and not a open shell. In the same way it's open over here, but it's just not open from this angle, really. Another from them I just thought it was interesting. I think the way it broke here. Noticeably, there's like a darker, even in the darkness of the black shallograms, there's a darker spot. It seems same stone. Wait, no, not same stone. No, sorry, pardon me. I spoke too soon. I was like, it happens all the time. I thought it was. Different stones, same vendor. This stone's incredible. Already it's looking cool. We're seeing these just a little anomalous kind of like bear claw marks from some animal type of appearance. Not to say that they are, of course, just like appearance. That is something of note. And it's looking like it's not gonna look anything like shallograms at all yet, like looking at it from this angle. Besides that it's black and has like cool features. Like it doesn't have the ammonite appearance yet. But there is one in it. So here's the innards of the ammonite. Then it's got some like openings at like way too precise locations, and also over there towards the boundary. Very interesting stuff going on this rock. Different angle. It's got this going across. It jumps to here, jumps to here. Seems to maybe have some relationship to that. I don't know. Okay. Same stone, same stone. Isn't that just incredible looking? Oh. Still incredible, same stone. Same stone. So we can see, this is what I've found perhaps the most interesting of it all, was that here his finger, or her finger, I can't tell, is inside that opening. I think it's his. Inside that opening. I just don't want to be rude. Oh yeah, I can't now. I thought I know. Inside that opening, but then the teeth extend out to here, where these cross things are going across. Like, really intensely. I'm not sure if before or after, like, if it's formed and then it got etched, or if it was getting etched. Like, I feel like it was getting etched while this opening was forming and these teeth were forming, and that there was some actual interaction between those two things going on. I don't know why it's so distinct in this one, if that's the case. Like, what exactly to make of it? It looks pretty intense, like there were some intense currents. Alright, so I guess we're done with those, because we're back to the mind blown nebula. Without further ado, thanks for hanging out. Peace. See you next time. And much loves. Thanks. He's so awkward, dudes.